Hi, I'm Lydia and I sew things, and this is my second video in my super basics to sewing series. I'm just gonna get right into it. Basically, I'm going to cover a few basic supplies that you'll need to go ahead and start using your sewing machine. The first thing is going to be needles. So needles in themselves can have a whole different video just on their own. But the best thing to do is to use a size 14 universal needle. And if you're using the Singer that I have in the videos, it comes with this, and it has the size 14 universal needles. I like to buy my needles in bulk from eBay or Amazon. And they're organ needles, but they are the same size. They're just a size 14. I'm trying to get this in focus. Yeah, see, they're a size 14 needle. I find that the size 14 works great for almost anything, to be honest. But there's no need to go over other needles right now. Again, this is just the basics. Once you get into more specialty fabrics, if you want to do denim or leather, then yeah, you're gonna need different needles. Schmetz also makes universal needles, and these are neat because sometimes they have different packages that have different sizing also. But yeah, Schmetz, Spencer Organ, Singer, it's the same. You get the off brands from China and they're cheaper, but I like the Organ. That's what I tend to stick to. Okay, for all of the samples, I will be using muslin fabric, which is very basic, and this is basically so you can see the stitches and what I'm doing on the machine with. I'll use like a contrast fabric. You do not need this. Whatever you can get your hands on. If you want to use old clothes or sheets and cut it up, that's totally fine. If you want to sew on paper, whatever. We're just, again, super basics here. But the muslin that I like to buy is from Fabric Wholesale Direct, and they have pretty good deals on that there. Also, go to your local quilting shop, support your small businesses, all that jazz. Okay, and let's talk about thread for a second. Usually what you can find at your store, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. I do not like their store brand. Just so you know, their store brand thread is not good. But this is all-purpose thread. It's polyester thread from Coats and Clark. This you could usually find anywhere. Walmart, Michaels even has it. And then this is my absolute favorite. This is great thread. It's Gutermann thread. You can also find this at Wawak. But you could even get away with serger thread. Like, you're just learning, like whatever you can get your hands on. If you want to try that Hobby Lobby thread, by all means, go ahead and try it. I mean, whatever you can use. Again, we're just practicing. Try thrift stores too. I've seen supplies and little things in there too. Okay, and scissors. You need a good pair of scissors. But again, whatever you can get your hands on, that'll cut the fabric that you have. These were my first pair of scissors. They're like the cheap Fiskars scissors. They are really dull now, but I'll keep them forever because they were my first scissors. But yeah, I mean, these will work. These will work. My favorite scissors that I cannot live without are these ones. These are bent shears, okay? And I do have this fancy German scissors that they're actually owned by Fiskars. Anyways, but these razor edge bent shears are the best because when you are cutting, this isn't going to lift up the fabric as much from the flat surface when you're cutting. So this one you might have to like get in there and cut, right? And this one you can just kind of go in there and start cutting the fabric. But these are my favorite. If I can find them, I'll link them below. But like I said, just if whatever you can get your hands on, that's what you want to use, okay? Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is a reference, a sewing book. I will do my best to not have you need a book, but we do not know everything, and it's always good to have a reference. But this book, these two books I just showed you, they are available for free on Internet Archive. That's archive.org. And I will put a link to these two down there. But this one is Vogue Sewing. Vogue Sewing. And it is wonderful. It is wonderful. It has everything. Like, basic construction has not changed for garments. But everything that I need to look up, I always look up in here first before I look on YouTube, because there's so many people on YouTube. You never know if you're getting correct information. But just know that for me, I will be using these as a source whenever I do a tutorial or try to teach you something. But this one, again, this one is a free book. If you can find it used, it's a great book. And it even has like fitting advice for once we get into other things. This one is the Reader's Digest Complete Book of Sewing. This one I bought new in 2005, and I still have the receipt. I found the receipt in the book. But anyway, it has a lot of really good pictures and illustrations of how to do things, and it is a great resource. I like these two books better than the ones that were recommended in my fashion design construction class. But yeah, that one is also free on Internet Archive. It's the 1981 version, and I think it's a little bit better than this one because it leaves out a little bit of details. But again, I'll link those below. They're great references to have when you're sewing. So here's the Internet Archive, and you can see that here's my Vogue Sewing book, and they even have a couple other, they have several other versions on there that you can check out and use. And the other one's on there too. Actually, there is a lot of really good books on there. Like, just take a look if you didn't know about it. It's a wonderful resource. Once we get into sewing seams, which should be in the probably a few more videos after this, you're going to need an iron. But whatever you have, even if it's like a travel iron or anything like that, will do. I won't show you mine right now because I have one of those fancy gravity-fed irons. But I can't tell you how many irons I went through until I bought that one. But we can, like I said, we'll talk about that. Oh, you know what? I'll just show you. Okay, so this is my gravity-fed iron, and what it means by gravity-fed is that it has steam, or has water, a water bucket right there, and this right here filters the water. But the water goes down through the tube into the iron to produce the steam. But yeah, this costs like $100, so you definitely do not need anything like this. But I just wanted to show you because this is what I have. So as far as iron's concerned, we can make do with whatever you have. Even one of those little mini irons, a cheap one, whatever. I'll even teach you how to finger press. Yeah, but because we're going over tools, I am going to mention something that has been just a life changer for me in my sewing. You do not need this to start, okay? But for accuracy in cutting, it's the best. It's the best. So this is a self-healing mat, and these are rotary cutters. You put you lay your stuff out flat. Lay your stuff out flat here, your pattern on top, or your ruler. Oh, you need a ruler. And then a clear ruler, okay? You've probably seen quilters do this all the time, but it's great for garment making because you have to be super precise, or you want to be pretty precise when you're making garments and you want them to fit you. So yeah, this is an option. And sometimes you can find kits that have them. Like my very first kit came with like a really small cutting mat and one of these little rotary cutters. So 45 millimeter. I have a 45, several of these, and a 60 millimeter blade. But yeah, That's basically how they work. And you want to be super careful. But again, you don't need this, but they are life-changing. They are wonderful, and they'll give you most beautiful, pristine cuts in your fabric. Okay, the other thing you want to have handy also is your sewing machine manual. I like to have mine, this one, I have this one on my iPad, and it's a great reference. This one's not the best one, to be honest with you. There's like some old ones that you can get that have more information. Like old sewing machine manuals used to be like sewing books. Like, you know what, if I can find my Singer Touch and Sew one, I might put it down in the comments so that you can see it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But yeah, have that handy. Okay, so I think I've covered everything you'll need to get started. I already have a how to thread video for this particular machine, but I will do another one, and we'll change the needle out and just get it all ready just for straight stitching. So that's going to be our next video, is just plain straight stitching, how to adjust a straight stitch, how to do a little sample, because before you sew anything, you always want to do a sample sew on your sample, so that if something goes wrong, it ruins your sample and not your dress or your garment or your project, whatever it is you're working on. The other thing you want to have is lots of patience. Please have patience with yourself. Sewing is a hard thing to do, but you keep at it, and you know, I'm here to support you, and we're going to get through this. And I'm so excited because opening the world to new people and learning how to sew is just sewing such a wonderful hobby and useful thing to know how to do. Okay, that's it. I'm going to get started on some straight stitching and do another video on how to thread the machine for next week. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll keep making these videos. And I'm really excited for this series. So thanks for being here. Bye.